Have you just entered Heroic Anthem KVK and you're wondering what crystal tech you should be investing in? Well, don't worry, I've got you with my crystal tech guide. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms gameplay episode from your very own Shappy Gaming. Today, we are going through Crystal Tech in Heroic Anthem KVK, and we're going to talk you through whichever you are, low spender, mid spender, semi-whale, and full whale. We're going to give you a guide as to what you should be investing in, and we're going to walk through all of the different paths that you need to take. I'm not going to cover the exact crystal costs because it will vary depending upon which path you choose to take, but I am going to be telling you the order in which you should be doing your research to make sure you're spending the least amount of crystal and getting the most bang for your buck. So, to start with, you are going to enter KVK, and you may very well have crystals that you've already gotten from previous KVKs. If you have, then lucky you, you are ahead of the curve. For those that might not know, you can get crystal from participating in previous KVKs simply by just spending crystal in the previous one. So if you do have these crystal chest 3s, you are going to be ahead of the curve and you are going to have an easier time. Additionally, if you're a whale or a mid spender, you will want to buy all of the bundles that are under $10. It will make your life so much easier as you go through this process. So with that, the first thing you should be doing the second you enter KVK is actually getting your quench blades, improved bows, mounted combat techniques, and improved projectiles all at level 1. Should be really easy, should be no problem, and my guess is you won't need a scientist or any of those buffs. Following this, you do need to get your swift marching to level 1 and your larger camps to level 1 as well. The goal here is that you really want to get your skillful operation up as soon as possible. And the reason for that is you want to be sure that you're just, reducing your crystal costs at all costs. Literally. Prior to this, you do want to max your mine. Maxing your mine is essential the second you enter KVK. For your crystal research center, you actually can keep it at about 16 or 20, depending upon what your preference is and how many extra crystals you have and if you're going to spend money. Mine is currently at level 20, but again, it really depends on what you want. So, as I said, you do want to try and get the skillful operation up as much as you can. So the first thing you're going to do is going to get skillful operation up to level 2. Well, that's all fun and games, except now you have to get swift marching up to level 3. So you've gotten swift marching up to level 3, and now you can easily just get your larger camps to level 3. And again, all of this will be posted. I've made a sweet Excel sheet. It's going to be in the community Discord, so be sure to check that out in the description. I think it should help, but I'm talking through all of it, and hopefully you guys are following. So you do want to get your larger camps to level 3, and after this, you should be good to get your skillful operation to level 1. Now, you do have a split choice here. Again, I'm catering this to pretty much whoever needs it, and this is the time where you're making your first split decision. If you're low on crystals, you can get your treaties and cultural exchange to level 4. You can't really get them above that right now, but you can get them to level 4. If you do, you should get them to level 4 and you should go do your Bastion quest for the day until you have enough crystal to come back and do the rest of these. So, you've done your split decision, you've come back. Let's say you've decided not to do your treaties and stuff to level 4. We'll do that later. You come back and you just go straight ahead. So you're going to do the attack formation to level 1. You don't need to go above this. It does depend on your preference and how close you are to combat, but for all intents and purposes, again, we want to keep our crystal cost as low as possible. So you're going to do attack formation level 1, and you can do all of these awesome skills here. We've got quench blades 2, we've got improved bows, all of those just to level 1. It doesn't really matter. For combat, it does, but again, you want to keep your crystal cost as low as possible so you don't have to spend more money and spend more time, and you guys know how it goes. What you do, however, need to do is you do need to get your swift marching 2 up to level 3. And you need to do that so you can get your marching orders to the level 1. And so you guys, you see the pattern that is happening here. all of these different skills are all reliant on each other. So I would highly, highly encourage you to use the order that I'm giving you because it will make your life a little bit easier. Especially right now, we're talking about optimizing your crystal. I would not deviate too much from this path if I were you. So now that we have done this, we have our marching orders at level 1, and we can do our first aid level 1, and then Skillful Operation can actually go up to level 5. And once you get that up to level 5, there's a sweet bundle that you can buy for $8 at level 1. Highly would encourage buying it. I think it's worth it. Now, we have another pause point here. If you have not already gotten your Crystal Research Center to level 20, you're going to want to. Once it's level 20, you can actually upgrade your Skillful Operation level 2 up to level 7. You're in a really good spot now, and at this point, if you haven't already, you do want to get your treaties and cultural exchange up to a higher level. So if you haven't already, get them up to level 4 and level 5 and level 4, and then we want to get our treaties over here up. And the reason we're doing that is that it does cost a lot of crystal to get those first 5 military techs up. Well, why would we do that if we can get more crystal in the meantime? So we're actually going to take Treaties 2 and Cultural Exchange 2 up to level 7 as well. So you're not taking these initial 2 up to level 5 off the bat, because you're saving all the crystal that you otherwise would have been investing here. And so now you have your treaties up to level 7. You have your Cultural Exchange up to level 7. There is a bundle here that you'll get with Cultural Exchange 2 at level 1, which is a $5 bundle. Again, highly would recommend buying it. We're at kind of a pause point at this point. You don't need to be investing terribly much in more economic technology if you can't afford it. You can focus on military tech, and you actually have to if you want to proceed. But if you're having issues with the Kaukarak or the Trials of Kaukarak, it is probably worth you looking at the Karaku reports or the Barbarian reports. It does depend on your difficulty. Personally, I'm a T5 player. I have 89 million power. That's not really a priority for me. So for me, I'm actually going to try and get all of these initial military techs to level 5. The order you do them in really doesn't matter. I like to do the ones I'm actually using first and then do siege at the last. But again, all about preference. But once you get all of them to level 5, you then want to get your Swift Marching 1 up to level 5 as well. And so once you have that, you can finally get Treaties 1 and Cultural Exchange up to level 5. And the reason you're doing this, again, is we want to make sure that we are getting the most amount of crystals and favor as possible. The favor is going to increase your crystal mine production speed, and the treaties is actually going to help you in terms of just getting straight up crystal rewards from the amount of time and effort that you've invested. So now that we have our Cultural Exchange and treaties up to level 5, we can actually go and do Treaties 2 and Cultural Exchange 2 up to level 9. As you guys can see, I'm not quite there yet. We just started KVK yesterday, and I'm out of crystals. But as we go through this, my hope is this will help all of you in a similar spot. Or if you're way ahead of me, then that works too. The point of this guide is to make it so it helps everyone, from low spender to mid spender to whale. So if you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot, and I put a ton of effort into this video. We are nowhere near done though, so stick around. So once you get your Treaties 2 and your Cultural Exchange 2 to level 9, you are in a really, really good spot here. And we could pause there, but we're not going to yet. And the reason is that we want our Skillful Operation to be a little bit higher. We want our costs to go down, so then we can start really investing in those military techs without too much difficulty. So we've got those 2 at level 9. We then go all the way back to the beginning, and we get our First Aid 1 up to level 5. And the reason you're doing that is you actually need to get your marching orders up to level 5. And I'm not sure where marching orders are here, but I promise they're there. Yes, you need to get your marching orders up to level 5. And then you want to do First Aid 2 up to level 5 as well, or up to level 8. Once this is at level 8, you can actually get your Skillful Operation up to level 9. And that is what you're really going for here. Yeah, there's your marching order. See, I knew I wasn't crazy. So you need to get your skillful operation up to level 9. At this point, if you're a mid-spender, you can pause. You can go do military tech, you can do your Karaku reports, you can do plunder, you can do what you want. You can pause. This is a great pause point. You've reduced all of the costs of research, and you really can't go wrong from there. However, if you do want to go further with your tech and you want to do, go for the 6 marches, go for the improved morale, go for the 7 marches even, you can't really pause. And so there's actually a split decision here. If you choose to just focus on a troop type, you're not going for the 6th march, you can keep your Crystal Research Center at level 23. And at this point, if it's not 23, you should be upgrading it to level 23. If you do that, what you can do is you actually just need to get your Plunder 2 to level 3, Call to Arms to level 1, so you just need to unlock this, and then you can do all of these improved skills, so your military skills 3rd branch, up to level 6. And you can also take all of these original ones, your level 2s, up to level 9 should you choose. At this point, you are going to be pretty formidable in the field, especially as a low spender or as a free-to-play. This is probably the place where you're going to want to be. You're not going for the 6th march. It's not going to be practical for you, especially since they reduced the rewards from Trial of Kaukawarak. This may be where you choose to be. If you're a whale, we're going to take a different path. And again, this Excel sheet is going to be listed within my community Discord. Feel free to join. Links in the description. If you're a whale, we're going to take a different path. And so you're actually going to get the original Barbarian reports now up to level 5. As a whale, you didn't need this skill, let's be honest. And you're then also going to get the next one up to Barbarian Reports level 8. Shappy, why are we doing this? Well, because Lilith in her lovely wisdom has decided that you need to in order to proceed with your tech. So you've gotten Barbarian Reports up to level 8, and now we're going to go for our Plunder. So we've slept on Plunder, we haven't needed it, we have tons of crystals, right? Let's say we do. So you're going to get your initial Plunder up to level 5. And your secondary Plunder, we're actually going to take up to level 8. And the reason that you're taking it up to level 8 is that you need it in order to get your attack formation up. And it's kind of annoying, and I know it's frustrating, but you have to do it. And so I will caution you here. You cannot get Plunder 2 up to level 8 unless that you have Barb reports up to level 8 as well. And that's why we had to do this, is there's this weird little loop that Lilith has created. So now you're at kind of another decision point. As a whale, it depends on how far you are within KVK and how many crystals you have. But what you're doing now is you're actually going to be essentially maxing all of these level 2 military skills. Doesn't matter what unit type you prefer. You can do it in whatever order you want. But what you need to do now is you need to get your attack formation to level 7, and you need to max all of these skills. And you really need to do that before you can go pretty much any further. Again, if you don't plan to go for the 6th march, if you're not racing towards that, then you can take the split path that I mentioned earlier, and then you don't need to get this to level 7 right away, and you can skill balance between whichever you want for military. But if you're a whale and you're going through and you're just maxing stuff as you can, then you need to max all these right now and get attack formation at level 7. Following this, we're actually going to go to Call to Arms, and we're going to get it to level 1. And this does require Plunder 2 to be level 3. So just bear that in mind. But we're going to get Call to Arms to level 1. And what this is going to do for us is it's actually going to unlock all of these sweet other military skills. And you are going to take all of these up to level 7. Again, doesn't really matter what order you choose to do, but you're going to take all of them up to level 7. And that is going to, A, make you an absolute beast in battle, because you now have the level 2s at level 10 and the level 3s up to level 7. But you're really doing this so you can get this Swift Marching 3 skill up to level 7 as well. And the reason you're doing that is, ladies and gentlemen, so you can have your 6th march. So that is going to be the fastest route to getting you to your 6th March. If you're racing towards the 6th March, that's the way you're going to do it. And again, this will be linked in the community Discord, so if you don't remember everything I'm saying, that's totally okay. But that's how you're going to get your 6th March right off the bat. So you've gotten your 6th March. Shappy, I want more. Okay, I hear you. I recognize it. I'm here for you. So now we're going to get our special medicines level 1 up to level 7. And we're going to do that, A, so we can heal faster in war, but really so we can get our marching orders 2 up to level 7, because you actually need to in order to get your improved morale. And so once marching orders 2 is up to level 7, then you can take improved morale all the way up to level 7. For a mid to fairly large spender, this is probably where you're going to stop. Because realistically, taking it the next step further is going to cost so many crystals and be completely impractical. Also, the difference between improved morale 7 and improved morale 10, I mean, yeah, it's pretty significant, but in terms of crystals, cost, and effort, I don't think it's that big a deal. So this is where you're going to stop. If you're a large spender to a mid spender, this is probably where you're going to get. And you're going to be very formidable in the field. You can totally lead rallies without max tech at this level. If you want to go further, which, you know, whale out, right? You're just going to max everything else from here. and that's kind of weird advice, but that's really the truth. Is if you decide that you want to go for the 7th March and max out improved morale, you really do just have to max everything else. You have to max all of the skills over here to level 10, and I believe there are dependencies within those once you get them to level 10. Let me pull this up real quick just to let you guys know. Yeah, to get them to level 10, you need call to arms to level 10, which does require marching orders to level 10, and marching orders requires swift marching, and as you can see, the cycle goes on. Fortunately, you don't need to get Karaku reports up to level 10. It really doesn't matter all that much, which should make your life easier. But overall, you really do kind of need to just max everything at that point if you're going to whale out. But again, you can follow the cycles. She will tell you once you've hit a limit. I hope that this has been helpful. My goal here was to really provide a guide that helps free-to-play, mid-spenders, whales, whoever you are, get your crystal optimization to be the best it can be, get you to your 6th March, or your 7th March, or improve morale. I hope that you've enjoyed. I tried to keep this short and sweet. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button right over there, bottom right-hand corner, and hit the bell so you get notified when new episodes come out. I hope that you've enjoyed. I know I have. Shappy out.